live. Oh, all right. Well, episode one. Episode one. This is going to be a little podcast thing that Shawn and I are doing. We'll eventually bring on people onto the podcast, and we'll talk to people and just learn about our members and what they do, how they got into CrossFit, and how their lives are, and just pretty much just meeting the people you see in the gym. But as for now, this is episode one, and we're going to kind of just interview each other and just have fun with it. But yeah, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's been, what, six months now?
Yeah, I think we're 6 months.
We're starting 6 months?
Yeah.
This is gnarly. This is gnarly. Every time I walk in here, man, I get a little bit of like funny butterflies in the stomach still, and like I park and I'm like, wow, this is no longer me working at a facility. This is my facility that I'm working, and this. I mean, it's mine, it's yours, it's ours. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Why are we doing this?
Yeah. So I mean, I've always loved to do fitness. I've always loved fitness for myself. I would say it wasn't until I think I was like 17 when I first got my NASM certification. Okay. So I got my National Academy of Sports Medicine, and that's when I started deciding that I was like, I want to work with people and help them, because I've always loved it, and I feel like my background and my family, not everybody loved it, and so I was like, what could I do instead of just worrying about myself and trying to be the best me I could be and as fit as I can be and as fast and strong as I can be. I was like, what can I do instead? And I was like, I'm going to help. I want people to realize that they can do things too. Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's always been the goal to own my own facility and to have a gym ever since I was like 16, 17 years old.
Nice.
It's been a long time, and then it's slowly progressed. I started with personal training, and then I did a lot of track and field coaching. Yeah. We had a travel team that I coached a lot of young athletes, and then I got into CrossFit, started coaching CrossFit, started coaching boot camp, started doing all that. Worked for Depot. We were there for a long time, and then fast forward now. I mean, I got my own spot, man.
Living the dream.
Yeah,
Living the dream.
Doing it up.
Rad, dude. American dream.
Exactly. So I mean, why did you choose to do a CrossFit gym? What made you?
Oh man. So my journey here is, I started, like for as far as career wise and personal goals, like I got into, I used to teach music lessons, and it was kind of my passion, right? Like when I was a youth, I was doing like guitar and music and that sort of thing.
Was it only guitar?
No, I played some other instruments, but I got into like music theory and some other stuff, and I got to teach music for a bit, and I really enjoyed doing that. When I was a kid, like 17, 18, kind of around the same time frame as you. My thing was music.
Okay. How old are you now, Sean?
I'm 34.
33.
33. Almost 34.
All right, cool.
But doing that was my passion. I enjoyed that. I started a family pretty young, and one thing that I was kind of realizing was like, I don't know if this is going to work out for me as far as financially. Like, can I pursue this all the way and still raise my family the way I want? And I got to a point where I actually pivoted, went for like a different pursuit, went for computer science. Yeah. Got a job, kind of started working in some startups, and ultimately ended up at StubHub most recently, and was doing that. And over the last couple of years, with the lockdowns and all this kind of stuff, and just seeing like local communities kind of needing an ecosystem and businesses kind of run locally, and seeing kind of local businesses struggle, I was really like inspired to be like, I want to work more in my community. I want to do something more for my community. I want to produce more in my direct community rather than working for something that's a bit more nebulous or even large or global like StubHub is. Yep. And so I was kind of looking at some things. I was like, maybe there's like start a business. How do I want to start a business? Should I open like a franchise? Yeah. I looked at like Wetzel Pretzel franchise for a minute there. I was like, I like Wetzel Pretzels. Everyone likes Wetzel Pretzels. I could probably make some bucks doing Wetzel Pretzels.
You're talking about the pretzel place in the mall.
Yeah.
That place.
Pretzels.
Yeah,
delicious.
Yeah.
And one thing that really got to me, because also over the last 4 years, and I've been doing CrossFit for 4 years, and was getting a lot more into fitness, a lot more into not just the physical strength, but into like nutrition and, treating
Yeah.
my body right and that kind of thing. I began down that path that you've been going down, right?
Absolutely.
And I was like, this is rad. This is where it's at. And what really shook me is I was sitting in a franchise meeting for a Wetzel Pretzel. Well,
you went that far. You were in a meeting.
Yeah, I was like on phone calls. I was like, trying to figure out that's what I was gonna do. One thing I should preface the story with is, I used to watch a lot of the CrossFit Health videos, and they would talk a lot about nutrition and some misconceptions and studies and research and that kind of thing. And it was always really cool. And they would cite stats, and they would say stuff like, we see like the intake of carbohydrates and like processed sugars are just increasing year over year, and this is really like feeding into this terrible epidemic we see in the States and across the world of just people like making poor food decisions, or just not educated to make the right decisions, and like not following up with a fitness program of any kind. And so we see obesity and type 2 diabetes and all these terrible things. People snacking have increased year over year, just like the way they eat is really terrible. Well, I'm sitting in this Wetzel Pretzel meeting, and they're like, guys, great news. Over the pandemic and the food costs going higher, people are looking for food at kind of a lower price margin, and we're seeing that adults snacking is going up 4% year over year. And I literally would watch like the same CrossFit thing, and they're like, guys, bad news. Snacking and carbohydrates are going up year over year by 4%. And it was at that moment that I was like, oh my gosh, like Wetzel's Pretzels is the problem, that kind of idea. And I was like, I can't do this. It's too hard on my conscience here. Sure, I could probably go sell a bunch of pretzels, but that'd be completely antithetical to the other goals and things that I have in life. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's funny. I mean, I pretty much had a very similar thing too, where I was working for Starbucks.
Yeah.
I love coffee.
Cranking out frappuccinos.
Exactly, man. So I was working for Starbucks, and this was when I was in like my peak of like grinding. Like I had 3 jobs. I was working Starbucks. I was coaching early mornings at Depot, 5 in the morning. And then I was working at Olive Garden as well. So I had 3 jobs. I was grinding. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then since I had 3 jobs, when it came, this is a totally tangent, but since I had 3 jobs, when it came time to do my taxes, they were like, oh yeah, you had 3 jobs, you did great. Yeah, so I like made like no money, but then I had to pay money. It was terrible. That's a whole other story, because I had 3 jobs. But yeah, so I was working at Starbucks, and because I love coffee. Coffee's great. Yeah, I love coffee, and of course, exactly, man. I know, yeah, man. Coffee's great, and so I finally came to realize, I was like, you know what? Like, this is not just coffee. This is super high calorie drinks, high sugar drinks,
candy bars,
all fake stuff. It seriously is. It was bad, and it finally one day, you know what it really was, and I texted Karina. Yeah. Kobe Bryant passed away. Yeah. And I texted Karina and I said, I'm not going to work here anymore. Because I can't, and I had this feeling in my gut this whole time, and I was like, I feel like a complete hypocrite, because I love to push fitness. I don't even push fitness. I love to teach fitness and to help people become fit and help people become healthy and put years on their lives. That's what I love to do, and that's what I've always strived to do. Mm-hmm. And then I started working at Starbucks because, I mean, it's a good company, it's a good job, they have benefits, they have all that good stuff.
Solid job.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. But I was like, during the day, I'm coaching fitness and I'm helping people add years to their life and lose inches off their waist. But then at nighttime, I'm making 4 frappuccinos for a family of 2. Yeah, making 4 for a family of 2. I mean, it was insane. Yeah. And it was Kobe Bryant's death that pushed me, and I told Karina, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. Wow. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in, and I'm gonna start coaching full time. And then the pandemic pretty much came around like roughly in the same area, and
lock it all down.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I mean, there was a time where I like went all in, and I stepped away from Olive Garden, because Olive Garden was another one. I mean, I'm serving, and I love serving. People are great. I love doing all that, but I mean, I see families who are just largely overweight, and it's very unfortunate. Because I mean, it's just, I think it comes down to knowledge as well. Just knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And so knowing what you're eating. But so I was working there, and I was like, I can't do that no more. Can't do Starbucks, can't do all the grounds. Like I got to go all in on this fitness thing. And I was super lucky because I was renting a room from a friend, and so my rent per month was only $500.
Oh, heck yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
And Karina and I were really good friends with the people we were living with. We were living with Jessica.
Yeah.
And it was like a family. We shared that home, and we had a home gym with all of my equipment in it.
Heck yeah.
And so I was at that point where I was like, you know what, paying $500 in rent, if I make $700 coaching and that's it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's where I was.
Yeah.
And so to piggyback on top of the Wetzel Pretzel thing, that's where I was at Starbucks and I was at Olive Garden. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I care too much about
moderation,
this.
people.
Yeah, yes.
Enjoy your Wetzel Pretzel. Enjoy your Starbucks.
Yes.
Just, not 5 times a day. That's too much.
No, not at all.
Would not recommend. Not official recommendation from One Life.
Exactly. So, but yeah, man. I mean, one life. So that's a good way to go. I mean, what do you see? Because this is something that I've kind of had in my head for, like I said, like 16, 17 years old. This is how long I've had it.
Yeah.
I'm 25 now, so I've had it for almost a decade in my head.
Yep.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
Where do you see One Life kind of going? Where do you see?
Honestly, I'm blessed to be, have met you at the time.
Likewise.
And,
Likewise.
just like having our paths kind of come together has been, really beautiful.
Yes,
and
yes.
so for me, like, gym hasn't been a long-term thing. Gym has been like a revelation in, the last couple of years, kind of like I was saying, just like, I want to do something for my community. And then realizing the thing that I had been pursuing, I'm like, that's not, I feel conflicted there, right? And right around this time, it's like, oh man, the thing that I'm so passionate about, the gym and, being with the community and getting fit and doing good by our bodies, gone, the threat of that being gone. And knowing that your drive and seeing the way that you interact with people and the way that you want to help people get healthy and get well. Yeah. I was like, man, what can I do to throw some weight behind this guy and do this as well, because I believe in that mission as well. Like you've had it for a long time. I'm on board. Yep. What can we do? And so for me, like hopping with the gym here, it was just like, could I have gone and tried to find some Wetzel Pretzel? Would I have made more money doing Wetzel Pretzel? Probably. Probably would have. But that's not the end goal.
The return investment wouldn't have felt the same.
No,
it would not have felt the same.
No, it wouldn't have. And I think that has to do with some of the morality or some of the seat of what is
well, the community that we have here is big enough.
Yeah,
I mean that's a big enough reason to get behind something like this, and I mean, like you said, get behind somebody like myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And the community is just it's unmatched.
I know. Yeah,
it really is.
Well, it also provides an opportunity for me to continue to learn and go in deeper, right? Like part of this, even before we opened the gym, was I was already kind of taking those next steps. I'd registered for my L1, was ready to do that kind of stuff. I didn't really anticipate necessarily being a coach. Yeah. Because I was like, I want the knowledge. I want to get the class. I want to get that stuff in. Yeah. And convenient timing. You can really say like a lot of stars kind of aligned on this thing, where it was like, well, it's convenient that I've got this certification now. We can do some coaching. Yeah. And so for me, it's been a huge blessing to hop on board and to pursue something that brings me joy, not just happiness of like selling Wetzel Pretzels and getting like some sort of side income from that, but the joy of participating in a community and helping people meet goals and get out of sickness into wellness and further into fitness and having you as not just a coach for other people, but you coaching me and learning how to coach other people and like absolutely. So for me, it's been such a joy doing the learning and the new area of growth and just kind of pushing the envelope on that.
Yeah, man. And I feel like right now we're at like 10% of what we actually want to achieve. Oh, we're not even anywhere. Yeah,
if that. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, talking about like One Life and what it is and where we are. Yeah. Like we're not even. We got our feet on the ground. I know, yeah. And that's pretty much where we're at.
I remember a lot of early conversations when we, kind of moving into this next phase where we're like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do a gym. Yep. what all is going to be in there? And
Yeah.
you and I are like,
Yeah.
what about this? What about that? What about that? And we're like, yes. And then we're like, hold on a second. Let's pump the brakes.
Yeah,
That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to do. Maybe let's start small,
Yeah.
and let's get this thing working really well. We'll get this engine turning, and then we'll go again.
Yep.
Make it bigger. We'll add something to it.
Yeah.
And we'll go again. And we've done that even several times over the last 6 months. And
Yep.
there's plenty more to add. There's a lot of big ideas.
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, like our ultimate goal is to be able to teach people fitness, help people add years to their lives,
Yeah.
remove inches from their waist.
Yeah.
That's our ultimate goal. When we opened, I mean, a lot of our members and our viewers, like you remember what the bathroom looked like. You remember these things. And you remember these. I had members.
Well, hey, remember when we didn't have a bathroom? We just had a barn.
Yeah,
a barn that we would set up and tear down weekly.
Yeah. We started at Element Church. Element Church took great care of us, and we were able to do that. We had a gym on wheels.
Yeah,
We had a gym on wheels. And
Literally, we'd throw stuff in a trailer.
Yep.
And then we would go park it somewhere so that the
Yeah.
church would use their facility,
Yep.
use their own facility on the weekends, and then we would occupy.
Yeah.
During the weeks, we'd wheel the trailer around, we'd pull all the mats and all the
Yep.
barbells.
And if
all the
any
stuff out.
of you have moved mats before, it is not the most easy thing. We've if I had to throw a number out there, there was probably 150 mats that we moved out of the other facility into his garage. We moved another 30 or so.
Insert picture of garage.
Yes,
here.
yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And we moved those mats from 30 of those from his garage to the barn where we were at Element Church and we were hosting classes.
Yeah.
And we were taking those out and we were only there for 2 weeks. It was crazy.
I know. We weren't sure if we were going to be
That
there.
was insane.
That was insane.
That was insane.
I wasn't sure if we were going to be there for like 6 weeks minimum was happening in my mind.
Yeah, that's what was happening in my mind.
Up to
I was like we're probably gonna go
months?
4 to 8, probably 4 to 8,
3 months,
4 to 8, and
yeah.
some. But and then so these mats are hard to move, man. It was crazy, but yeah. So I mean,
luckily, fortunately,
no more.
we're very fit.
Yes, that too. Yes, that too. Yeah. So.
And it would have been a lot harder. I know there were several days after, like, I think the first day when we were moving
It was my
all the
hands.
mats.
My
Yeah,
hands.
the grip.
My hands and my forearms were getting just demolished.
Hey, the goal of efficiency, moving efficiently, also helped us out with that.
Absolutely.
We kept refining our lifting technique.
Yeah, so
There was
if
like a
you
deadlift.
have any mats and you need us to move them, we know how to move mats.
We will tell
real
you
quick.
how you can move them.
We'll let you know on the next podcast, not this one.
A whole podcast on moving.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. So I mean, it was great. I mean, the community aspect of this CrossFit thing is just it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is very, very crazy, and I mean that's what we strive. That's what gives me the want, and I mean waking up early and doing this all the time. I don't do this because I mean I'm not making a bunch of money. I don't do this because I mean it's like getting up early. For those of you that know that getting up early is a hard thing for you. I mean, getting up early, I get up at 3:45, 3:30, 4 days a week. Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love what I was doing. Yeah. I would not be getting up at that time if it was for a desk job. I would not be doing that. No. If it was for Starbucks, I would not be doing that. Yeah. If it was for Olive Garden, I would not be doing that. So this is the community and the people behind it. Because if I came and I coached for a lot of people who, I mean, did not have the passion also. Mm-hmm. Because these people are getting here at 5 a.m. These people are getting here at 6:15, which is basically like 5 a.m. to them. Yeah. People are getting here at 8:30, which is 5 a.m. to them. Yeah. I mean, some people they don't get up early, but 8:30 is early for them. Yeah. So, without the community, there wouldn't be me. Yeah. And without me, there wouldn't be the community. Yeah. I feel like I play a huge part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you've become to what I love. You've become the community, and now you're starting to make that transfer into leading the community. Yeah. And it's super cool for me to watch you fill in that role that I was filling in when I was coming in. Yeah. It's super rad.
The scale is happening, right? Like, yes. Like there's this idea of like, we're at a pretty small, like you said, 10%-ish of what we want. And we're, the next thing for you and for me and for our community, in fact, is to how do we scale this? I mean, we have over 100,000 people in Santa Maria. Yeah. And, we have what, 0.001%, you know, of,
Yeah.
of those, less than that, of those people in our gym currently, you know?
Yeah.
And
Don't give the number.
how do
Don't
we,
give the number.
how do we, very vague percentages, you know, but how do we scale that to you know, our community? How do we get people fit, you know? And so figuring out how to scale is the thing that you and I are working on. That's,
Absolutely.
That's the responsibility that we have to our community at this point.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's funny, scaling, I love that word, scaling, because we can use it for life, we can use it for coaching, we can use it for fitness, we can use it for so many other things.
Yeah.
And one thing that I feel like we've already done a good job of is scaling up and scaling back, scaling down.
Yeah.
And so when people come in and it's like, hey, like, I mean, we just did a competition down in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we took people with us who had no desire to be competitive.
Yeah.
Had no desire to, in other words, scale up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They liked where they were. Fitness was their thing, and they liked doing what they were doing. Mm-hmm. Scaling up or going like RX plus, scaling up was not what they were. That wasn't in their not necessarily wheelhouse, but it wasn't in their. That wasn't priority.
Yeah.
Priority is living longer, staying healthy, doing all that, but being able to show the community that like not only can you scale back workouts, you can scale up workouts and challenge yourself. And I think we're doing a good job in the sense of challenging the average people who come to class who don't want anything to do with competing, but we are showing them that you guys are so much stronger than what you think you are capable of. It's hard for you all to see it because just like when you're on like a weight loss journey or something, like it's really challenging for you to see it, but you go around the family and the family's like, hey, you look good. Yeah. It's easier for people on the outside to see your progression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't see my progression at all. The way that I kind of see my progression is like, wow, last year I was this fit for the open. This year I'm this fit for the open. And then I get people like you and people like Logan and friends and stuff, and they're like, yo, you're dude, remember last year you were cleaning like this, and now you're snatching this. It's like it's cool, but being able to show the community that there is possibility to be not a competitive, crazy, psycho, screaming
like Hans.
Hair out, going gnarly. Like you don't have to do that, but you are so much more capable of what you not necessarily limit yourself to, but what you are comfortable with.
Yeah. Well, when you compete, it's a test, right? It's a test of your fitness, and you have to go earn. You have to go earn it, right?
Oh yeah.
And so like you're putting yourself against all these other individuals. But even if you come last place in your division in a competition, you still earned something that day. Like you still tested yourself. You
just getting out there.
Yeah, you just got there. Like you put in the work, you got there. Yep. You've got photo, video evidence of you doing this thing that is really hard. The competitions are hard, and it's a different mindset, right? Yeah. Like you can kind of come put in the work at the gym, but when you put yourself up against a handful of people, and you're like, okay, what am I going to do the best that I can? Yeah. Even if you lose, like you still had to push yourself probably more than you expected, and you probably maybe exceeded your expectations of what you were going to do.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing test of your fitness.
It really is.
And it's been, for me, it's fun. Some of us are naturally competitive, right? And you kind of want to put yourself against others. Yeah. But, for those who even aren't naturally competitive, it's still such an amazing test to kind of see what your body can do now that you've been training and practicing. Yeah. You get to execute it,
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I agree. Well, that was good. Yeah. I like it. That was a good first one. We are about to coach class. We got class at 8:30. It is Saturday right now. So if any of you ever want to come out and take class, you're more than welcome to come out and take class. We have classes all throughout the day. I'll put the website link in the bio down below so you can check that out. But yeah, every Saturday we have an 8:30 class. Come on out. Show up a little early so I can show you around a little bit. There's not a lot to see because it's not too big. But come a little early, get you to sign a waiver. And it's partner workouts every Saturday, 8:30. And we'll come and party and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Later, guys.
Later.